Mage, or perhaps on the Shadow Priest. If you can sort of stick to the Shadow Priest, it's kind of annoying to try and stick to him when he has Spectral Guise, but if you can stick to him, stop the fears onto Doomson, that's really going to help out. It's going to mean that your team isn't being pressured as much, and RMP or RMD, all kinds of the RM variations, they really just care about like surging down at the beginning, you know, so the opener is going to be huge here is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see who Pry is going to open up on. I think that's going to be the big story.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams are playing pretty far back. They're you know, the Arcane Explosion actually going to hit the Rogue. That is actually very big. He's going to look for the re-stealth off this, but RMP's opener, as we know, is extremely important. Now the Pet Nova comes in, he's actually going to have to blow a Vanish. He does get the cheap shot off there. Garou coming in now onto Fried Kitty. There's the Deep Freeze onto Fuin, looking for that Ring of Frost. Is he going to actually be able to land it? No. It actually does not connect. That was a misplaced ring. Pretty big deal there. The blind comes out. That's going to force the Trinket. Now the clone's out there onto Pry. He's going to have to sit through this as Doomson goes into the Fear. And honestly, a pretty big misstep early on now from this RMD. You know, missing that ring could be costly, but Fried Kitty in some trouble. Look at Valet getting so low. The smoke bomb goes down. Disperse comes out. Fried Kitty in trouble still as well. Valet's not out of the woods just yet. Offensive clone comes in from Doomson. Very well played. If they can get the CC over on a Fuin, this could be it. The Roar comes in on a Fuin. Valet looking like he's going to go down. I think he will. 50k HP, but Morgan forced into the block. He's going to get pushed back as Doomson going to have to trigger that Fear with the Heart of the Wild active.
Absolutely beautiful play, Fuin. I cannot believe he was able to keep Valet up. Really nice job. He has Heart of the Wild. Can they try and get some pressure? There's the offensive silence onto Doomson. Let's see who they're going to try and hit. Looks like Mokran is taking a little bit of damage. Pry is dancing. There's a block from Fuin to try and get out. He's trying to heal Valet. He was in that kidney. He's coming out of it now. Down at about 250k HP. He throws out the Fear. Can they get some pressure going though? And now they're going to Cyclone Valet. He does have a few hots on him, but he's at full health, and that is not really what you want to do. Pry on the other hand coming out of that Cyclone. A full deep into a poly goes out onto Doomson. Really rough situation for them. Can they get some damage going off? They're trying to hit the Mage of Mokran. He needs to just start pillaring, just trying to kite away. A Fear goes out onto Doomson and on Pry. This is really nice CC. Everybody on this team is CC'd right now. Mokran taking a lot of damage at a half health. Does he have a block? He does. Very nice job. It's
going to get MD'd though. He's just going to cancel. He has that Ice Blood Glyph up and a heal coming out there from Doomson, but it's a silence. It's a DR cheap. Looking like Morgan maybe getting finished off here. 7k HP. It's not going to be enough. He blinks out, but he does fall. And game number 1 is going to be going the way of playing with fire.
Wow. Very, very interesting.
Get pressure, but you know, it's costly, sure, but I really do feel like it's something you pretty much have to do. So
I don't know, maybe I'm a little old school in that way, but I feel like if you get your opener ruined, then you really should use your Vanish to try and like set it up for when you actually get a good CC landed, you know?
Yeah, maybe, but the thing is with all your Trinket procs and everything starting at the beginning, it's so much damage, but it is in fact actually Treant Thunder Regionals that is up 1-0 over Melk Trupp. Melk Trupp is the team that is down right now, so sorry about that, but it is going to be Pry looking for the opener here. We'll see if they can battle back here in game 2. Get anything done for themselves. Fried Kitty in Invis. You can see he's getting those Mind Sears. They're trying to pop them out. Actually pretty close to where the camouflage was of the other team. Both teams kind of just crossing paths without even really knowing it. Well, you know, Fried Kitty was in the Invis, the other team was in the camouflage. Here comes Pry now, looking for that opener. Will he be able to get the sap this time? He does onto Valet. Now here comes the opener onto Fried Kitty. This is what they were looking for. Deep Freeze immediately onto Fuin. There's the clone onto Valet. Fried Kitty going to be blinking away, but Pry in hot pursuit right back onto him, down to 200,000 HP. Cloned on the Trinket is Fuin, who's going to be stuck in that Pry. I feel like he should have maybe triggered there, but he's going to sit through this. If they can't force the block, that's pretty costly. Doomson was deep frozen. Someone maybe should have triggered there. Now, Mokran forced into the ice block. Doomson had to trigger that clone. So much damage being turned around here. Fuin, though, into the full sheep. Valet in trouble. He's very likely going to have to disperse here. I think he will. The disarm comes out. Will it be enough, though? Fuin's still in that sheep, and somehow, some way, he's going to be able to hold on to it for now, but for how much longer, really, as the Deep Freeze comes in? Do they have any follow-up after that? Doesn't look like it just yet. Heart of the Wild active for both Druids, trying to keep their teammates top back off, and Valet is going to be topped right back to full. Morkran is going to be able to blink out of there, gets the polymorph down onto Valet, and they are looking to kind of set back up here, but unfortunately they couldn't even force the disperse. Valet now going to get opened back up onto. Big damage coming out onto him. There's a smoke bomb going down. Surely disperse is going to come out now, and it does. Fuin with no trinket, Valet with no disperse. This could be pretty scary next time they get the CC out onto Fuin.
Yeah, there's just so much pressure being put onto the Shadow Priest right now. He doesn't have any dots of whatsoever, not even as much as a Shadow Word Pain. So he really needs to try and get that pressure out. I believe he actually just whiffed his fear. No, he did manage to connect. I'm sorry. Doomson coming out of that deep freeze right now, goes into cat form, trying to keep his team top, trying to keep them pre-hotted. Dots are going out onto Mokran right now from our Shadow Priest. That appears to be the main target. It looks like the only person they're trying to kill is the mage, but Relay inside of a cheap shot, inside of a kidney. His druid is sitting inside of a poly. His mage is inside of a cyclone. It's a 3v1 situation. A counter spell goes out onto Mokran. He gets put into a poly. Relay down to 160k HP, taking so much damage. His druid doesn't have trinket available. He's coming out of that cyclone. He NS's before he gets recycloned. Very important. A poly goes off onto Pry.
Nice offensive clone though there from Doomson, denying the hots from Foon. Can they set anything up onto Foon out of that? His trinket almost back available here. There's the deep freeze now. MCS onto Philly. Will he be able to finish him off? Doesn't look like much damage is coming in just yet. Foon now out of the deep freeze. Doomson, the one caught into a sheep. Remember, Pry did cloak offensively there. I don't think it's going to be a factor, but it's something you still have to keep in mind. Shadow Fiend is available here pretty shortly. It's about a minute. You know, they may want to try to set something up with a big Shadow Fiend or burst, but for now, there's the block forced out of Fried Kitty. He's going to use that offensively on the sheep. He wants to stay aggressive here onto Marker, who's trying to get out of there. Doomson in the background, healing him up pretty heavily. The CS does expire there onto Morkran. Pry was caught briefly into the clone. Villet now going to be in a clone of his own, and Fuin has once again had to trinket.
Yeah, now the thing is though is that Dance and Orb are available. There's a Cloak of Shadows. He's dancing. He's doing so much damage coming from this rogue onto the Shadow Priest. The Deep and the Cyclone are overlapped onto Fuin though. That's not good. They're really trying to put as much pressure on the Shadow Priest as they can, but to overlap those cooldowns, that CC is so bad. Doomsday gets put into a deep freeze. A counter spell goes out onto Mokran. Mokran taking a lot of damage now. Vilek almost completely oomed.
There's
Mokran
the silence. The silence devouring play comes out. That's going to force the ice block, and that is the second one there from Morkran. Doomsday with no trinket into the half clone. Could this be it for him? He's in a lot of trouble here. He's going to have to get out of there. He needs to pull back to the pillar with Doomsday. That's exactly what he does, as he blinks away to safety. Vilek very low on mana. We'll see if that's going to be an issue for him. I believe the Shadow Fiend is now up. He's going to get a full fear onto Doomsday. No trinket available. Morkran could be in some trouble here. We'll see what's going to happen. There's the deep freeze and the MCS coming in. He's going to blink out as soon as he can there. Villet getting pretty low as well. Doomsday out of CC for now, though. He is trying to heal his mage back up. Villet in some trouble. The sheep comes in onto Fried Kitty. It's not getting dispelled just yet, and Doomsday decides to go with the offensive clone to deny those heals, as the Shadow Fiend was popped there by Villet. He's trying to get as much mana back as possible, back up to 50k, but really didn't get a ton back there. And at this point, with Shadow Fiend on cooldown, could actually end up being an issue. There's the blink CS onto Fried Kitty. Clone comes in off of that. Deep freeze over onto Fuin. Villet taking some damage, but Mokran is feared off and cannot really get involved.
Relay down to about 250k HP. Fuin out of CC. There's a palm going off. It doesn't look like they were able to get a polymorph out of that one. There's a poly going on to Mokran, but he gets dotted immediately after. A cyclone goes out onto Doomson. Pry is sitting inside of a polymorph now. They need to try and get some pressure going. Vilay still and this is not good. You obviously cannot put out that much pressure if you're an Shadow Priest. Cyclone does go out onto Pry. Nice fear. Everybody CC'd on this team now. Can they get any pressure going? Mokran going to be taking a lot of damage here, down to half health, and he has to block once again. His cold snap is up in about a minute, though.
There's the orb out from Fried Kitty. He's going to be corroded. The polymorph trying to come out onto Doomsday. Doomsday going to get the shift off, though. It was not in time on that deep freeze. Disorienting roar coming out there. Fuin forced to trinket once again. Villet into the sheep. It's going to be dispelled. Pry connecting back onto Fried Kitty, trying to get the damage out onto him as Fuin is into the deep freeze. Clone onto Villet. They briefly had that 3v1 setup. Fuin, though, once again, is free and clear. He's in the background, going for those regrowths, trying to top his mage back off. Spamming out 2-3 regrowths in a row there was Fuin. He's going to throw up the Innervate as well, trying to get his mana back as fast as possible here. Doomsday in the background still winning slightly on mana. We can see the Ice Block from Symbiosis almost back up here for Fuin. He's charging in, looking maybe to get a little bit aggressive, try to get some CC out here on Doomsday perhaps. There's the silence onto Morkran. Deep freeze onto Doomsday. That's going to be blink away there from Morkran as he does get out of there. And Fried Kitty in a lot of trouble actually right now. Down to 100,000 HP. Will he be able to survive? The block comes out. I believe that silence was the yard on Morkran. It looked like he was able to get out of that very fast.
Yeah, that was a cold snap block, by the way. So Fried Kitty isn't going to have block for a few minutes. Cyclone goes out onto Pride, but he is regaining energy in that. Can he get the re-stealth out of it? It doesn't look like he will be able to. Mokran taking a decent amount of damage, down to about 75% HP. Blanket counterspell goes out onto him. Full dots, full deep freeze up onto Doomson. A Cyclone out of that. Mokran in a lot of trouble, actually. Down to half-ish. Gets picked back up a little bit. He does have the life bloom on him. He does have the Iron Bark. So it looks like he should be fine for now. He's also going to be going into invisibility, but he's out of it. Polymorph goes out onto Pride. Going to regain some energy in that as well. Polymorph goes out onto Doomson. And It's actually
there's the deep freeze onto Foon. Can he get the sheep? This is important. He's not going to be able to land it. Actually, a sheep onto Ville there. Now it's swapped over onto Foon. He is going to be able to land that. Clone comes out on the Ville. Fried Kitty taking quite a bit of damage himself, down to about 200,000 HP there. Foon working hard to top his teammate back off, getting those regrowths off there. Doomson in the silence now. He's going to be caught through this. We'll see what they have for Morkran. The Iron Bark did come out there, reducing as much damage as possible. Well played by Doomson. You are able to do that while silenced. And he is going to be able to stack those haunts back up here. Ville, though, taking a fair bit of damage. I believe Disperse should be easily back off of cooldown, so he should be okay, for any damage coming in if he decides to use that. Foon into the deep freeze. That's going to expire, though. His trinket's back up here once again, and Morkran under some pressure. Ville, though, as well. MCS comes in on Fried Kitty. There's the blind on Foon. It's going to be triggered immediately as Fried Kitty is put into the sheep. Disorienting roar catches both Doomson and Morkran. Well played there by Foon, but he's going to be put into the roar, into a full sheep. The clone, unfortunately, massively overlapped there by Doomson with Morkran. Morkran going to have to trinket. They're trying to finish off Ville. We'll see if they can do it. They do not have that clone DR, remember, because it was overlapped, and Ville going to be put into the DR clone. Can they force a disperse? It is going to get the disperse anyway. It does not come back to bite them just yet, but is he out of the woods? He's still quite low. Now the dance coming in there from Pride. Trinket is up as well. This could be it. MCS comes in. I think he's going to go down. 15k HP. He does fall, and we are all tied up. Melk Trupp striking back here against Treant's Thunder Regionals. We are all tied at 1-1 on the road to BlizzCon.
Yeah, that was really nicely done. There was even a smoke bomb available, so I guess it's just eventually they were able to remove all the cooldowns coming from our Shatterplay team. They were able to CC enough, and eventually they line it up just right.
Back here again. As it is their right to do so. Pride going to be going in, thinking better of that as Fried Kitty does get into the invis, and I think we're just going to kind of have this little standoff once again to start things off. They're going to wait for Fried Kitty to get out of the invis. Once he's out of invis, that's when they're going to start to move in, look for that opener, because they do have the added bonus of having camouflage, so they can camouflage, then they can invis out of that. So, during that whole time, there's nothing that the other team can really do to pop them out, unless they just kind of hit them with an AoE. And there's the sap onto Fried Kitty. Now we'll see if they can get the follow-up opener that they're looking for. There's another sap, I think, that is going to come in perhaps. No, they're just going to decide to open up right away instead. Ville going to be able to get put into the cheap shot. Deep freeze onto Fu, and there's the ring landing. That's going to force the trinket immediately. Will the blind come out? He jumps into the orb, so he's not able to be blinded. Nice thought there from Fuin, but he is going to be cloned up instead. Cheap shot coming in once again onto Ville. Pry now swapping it over onto Fried Kitty, who is under quite a lot of pressure. May have to block here. Down to 100k is going to have to block. And remember, the blind is still available. And Fuin without any trinket, things are looking rough for the Shatterplay.
Yeah, already, man. This is what happens when there can be a good opener. Fried Kitty gets put into a poly, but he living bombs it right after, and I really don't like that. You're sort of wasting the DR. What if you need to put him into another poly?
Smoke bomb comes down. This could be it, though. He's in the smoke bomb. He's going to be corroded down to half HP. MCS on a Fuin. Do they have the blind off of that? They need to look for it, but instead he's just going to be pumping out this damage. Now going to get the blind. That's a full blind clone. Overlap, though, once again. We'll see if it costs them this time. The dance still active, now expiring there from Pry. Can they get the sap out of it? Not able to do so. The deep freeze does come in, though. Fried Kitty still dangerously low. He's going to be connected back onto 70k HP. Second block having to come out.
Wow. Yeah, this is rough. Almost all the defensive cooldowns are burned. Look at the trinkets available for our Shatterplay team. They don't have any outside of Ville, and their defensive cooldowns are really short as well. A full counterspell on the Fried Kitty on his Frost School, so he's not going to be able to do much damage whatsoever onto Morkran, and I think this game is heavily in favor of our RMD at this point. Dude's been put into a full polymorph, no trinket available. Kind of sucks to get polyed as a druid. Another re-poly going off. But now check out the deep onto Fuin. Are they going to swap over onto him? Doesn't look like it. Counterspell goes out onto Fried Kitty.
Oh, he is going to be able to land that poly. It breaks immediately, though. I think he was able to actually get inside the orb. I'm not sure about that, but it looked like something did break it right away. So, unfortunately, the clone does come in anyway. Doomson able to land that onto Fuin. We'll see if they can get any damage rolling with this. They have swapped it up, going on to Ville now. Ville taking some damage. I'm not sure if this is really the right strategy, though, since they've already actually forced out both blocks. What do you think about changing up the strategy and going to the Shadow Priest?
Yeah, I think Shadow Priest could be a viable option, especially if you have an Shadow Priest, you sit on him, that guy is not going to do anything whatsoever. It's completely eliminating so much pressure coming out from the Shadow Play. Full Kitty went out onto Fried Kitty. He actually had a trinket right there, taking a little bit of damage. All trinkets are expended. Actually, Fuin does have his trinket available now on our Shatterplay team. Fear goes out onto Pry. Cyclone goes out onto Doomson. Morkran taking a lot of damage, down to about half health right now. They're a little bit of trouble.
Though, that is actually going to force the trinket there from Foon once again. Blind up in 20 seconds. That could be the kill opportunity that they're going to wait for, and we'll see if that is. Doomson with his trinket back up now. Everyone here on Melk Trupp do have their trinkets, so Foon without a trinket, no one on this God comp, Shadow Play, whatever you will, has a trinket. The entire other team does. There's the full blind coming out. Now they're going to look to get the major damage coming in here. They are having a Ring of Frost going down though. Villet taking so much damage. The clone going to come out onto Fuin. This could be it. The Disperse comes out, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. There may be more CC here for Fuin. The Vanish comes out. The Cloak as well. 11,000 HP. He's going to go down as the Deep Freeze connects onto Fuin.
Beautiful Deep Freeze. Beautiful Deep Freeze. That was really nicely timed. Everyone's done it. You accidentally throw a CC into a Cyclone or something like that a little bit early, and then it can cost you a kill.
Look at them, man. They are pumped up. They know
those are some high fives.
They are one game away.
What a sip of water. Look at that.
From taking another step on the road to BlizzCon.
Ooh, nice one.
Thanks.
Very nice.
Thanks.
They're on their...
All right, so guys, we are here in Dalaran Arena, and we are ready to go. Fried Kitty going to be coming out here right into the Invis. We're just going to see a repeat once again of what was happening last time. I mean, they're just going to wait it out, I do believe, but you get the early sap on Villet, and this may prompt them to get a faster opener. The sap does expire. There is the DR sap coming out. Now Fried Kitty is out of the Invis. Fuin actually gets full sap. That is so big. He's going to get broken by the orb, but a Deep Freeze comes out as well. Villet in some trouble already. Disperse comes out immediately. The Sheep onto Mokrin, though. He's already used his trinket. Doomson still has his available. Fried Kitty into the gouge. There's the DR Sheep to follow it up. Fuin still holding on to his trinket. Does have the Heart of the Wild active, trying to keep his team topped off. Doomson into the Deep Freeze now. He's back behind the pillar, though. He will be able to top his team back off, and it looks like they're trying to pressure Pry a little bit more here. Now the swap comes in onto Mokrin, as there was Blooms off over on Pry. Silence onto Mokrin. He has no trinket available. He's trying to get out of there. We'll see if he can. He blinks back behind the pillar. He's going to be safe for now, as Doomson's MCS does expire. Now the Deep Freeze onto Fuin. Palm Ring coming out. A beautiful life grip there from Villet to keep his Druid out of the CC. The Blind, the Sheep, though, both are going to be triggered. These CC overlaps, can be costly sometimes, but a beautiful follow-up there from Doomson as the full clone comes landing onto Fuin.
Yeah, the life grip was nice, but at the same time, it meant that the Rogue was able to blind without having to lose any DPS, not even missing an auto attack for it. But now, Pry is going to go for a re-stealth, hanging out on the lower side, trying to get it. He will manage to get that. So maybe they can get another sick opener. But Doomson doing a great job keeping his team topped off. He's going to go into cat form before getting feared. That's really good. That means he's not going to be able to get polymorphed out of it. Mokrin caught inside of a Shadow Priest Sans right there. Villet taking a little bit of damage. He's inside of that kidney, inside of that sheep. There's going to be a cyclone going out onto Fuin. He doesn't have a trinket available. Villet taking a lot of damage out to less than half health right here. Pry has a full energy bar, so once he's able to connect, he's going to do a lot more as well. Mokrin did get silenced right there. A lot of pressure going out. Doomson caught inside of a Deep Freeze. The Ring of Frost does go out. Will it manage to catch Doomson? It doesn't look like it is. So a little bit of a mistake right there. Fried Kitty got caught inside of a silence. Villet trying to put out some pressure. He only has dots up on... Actually, they've all expired at this point, so that's really rough. He needs to get some more pressure going. This is kind of the game we're seeing a lot.
Oh, here's the Dance Cloak, though, coming out. They're going to go aggressive here onto Fried Kitty. Full Sheep onto Fuin. I think this is going to be a block for sure. There's the cheap shot. It has to be a block. In it comes. The Sheep is followed up, though. Do they have any more CC here for Fuin? Let's see if Doomson can get in there. Maybe get a clone, get aggressive a little bit. It looks like they are content, though, now. Having forced that block, they're not going to do anything just yet. The Shadow Blades was used earlier by Pry. Dance and Cloak used there aggressively as well, so it may just be they want to reset, wait for that Dance, wait for that Cloak to come back up. There's the silence on a Mokrin, though. Going to be trinketed immediately. He wants to get out of there as Doomson put into the Deep Freeze. Villet going to be CS. Fried Kitty in some trouble, still on the hypo. Full Sheep out onto Fuin. It's going to be emptied, I do believe. Nicely played there by Villet, but Fried Kitty still in trouble as the clone comes out onto Fuin. Does he have another block available? Is he going to use it? 170k HP right now. Blind is now available for Pry right in time with that trinket, so will he be throwing the blind out? Doesn't look like it just yet. Mokrin taking some damage here as well. Sheep over onto Villet. Fuin still sitting free. He's not CC'd just yet, but the full Sheep does come in. This could force a trinket or a block here from Fried Kitty. It's got to be one or the other, I do believe. Fried Kitty is trying to get out of there. He's down dangerously low, though. 50k HP. The block has to come out.
Wow, it's so rough for him, man. He's not able to do anything with this Rogue sticking to him. Blind goes out into Fuin. It gets trinketed instantly. Mokrin gets put into a silence. He's out of it now. Pry caught inside of a full Cyclone. So now they need to just regroup. All blocks are down for Fried Kitty. The trinket is down for Fuin. It just takes one nice setup and they can do it. He did get get that Fairy Fire dispelled off of him. Nice job by Doomson. He's going to get the re-stealth. This is it right here. Fried Kitty gets open on. There's a Garrote. Can he get a nice kidney shot out of it? There's the Tricks of the Trade going up for extra burst. They're opening up onto Vile, though.
Fear, though, from Vile. Nicely played there. Maybe they can try to turn things around here as he is looking to do some damage onto Pry. The burst coming out. Deep Freeze comes in. The Cloak is forced. Trinket as well. Massive damage coming in there on Pry as the Shadow Fiend was even used. And they are mixing it up. They're pressuring the Rogue with the Cloak already forced. They could decide to go back to him. Vile, though, the target for now. He's going to be sheep. He is dotted up. It will break. Fuin into Deep Freeze. Looks like it is a DR'd there, but Vile going to be caught into the kidney shot. Still taking a lot of damage. Clone on a Fried Kitty. I think this is going to have to be dispersed. A heal does come landing, but will it be enough? He's down to 100k. He may have to use it. He's still holding on to it. Fuin into the full sheep now, though. CS over on a Fried Kitty. MD coming out. He is able to land it. Well played there by Vile, holding on to that cooldown when it definitely looked like it was going to have to be used.
Yeah, Cyclone onto Vile at the same time as his healer was inside of a poly. I don't know if I really like that play. Kind of just lets the CC DR, and then it's just going to get topped off. A Deep Freeze onto Fuin, though, and a cheap shot onto Vile. Vile taking a lot of damage. He's behind the pillar, away from line of sight of his Druid. He's in a lot of trouble, actually. He may go down. He did have to use his Disperse, so now no Ice Blocks available, no Trinkets available, no Disperse available. Yep. Vile is the only one with a Trinket on the Shatterplate team. They need to get some reverse pressure going, or they are just going to end up dying. Garrote Silence into a Rupture. Fried Kitty caught inside of a full Cyclone. How is Fuinio doing? Is he going to be able to pick his team up? He casts a Cyclone. He got it off onto Pry. Pry not able to do any damage. Fried Kitty caught inside of a full poly. He's out of it now. Regrowth being cast. They're just trying to pick up Vile. They feel like he's going to be the target. They're just keeping full hots on him. But this is they're really just waiting out until our RMD team just has the cooldowns to burst them down.
And look at the cooldowns. Cloak is going to be used. So is Dance. The blind is available as well. Deep Freeze onto Fuin. This is the cooldowns that they were looking for, and they do have them now. There's the Ice Block used on that sheep from Fuin. He's going to be roared up, though. Clone comes in. Blind still available from Pry, but he's feared off on the end of that Dance. The Cloak and Dance were used there. Remember how much damage they put into him last time. Do you think they could get that set up once more? He won't have the Cloak available if they're able to do it. Mokran going to get CS, though. Doomson without a Trinket. Pry almost has his back up. He's looking for this opener. The Tricks of the Trade going to be thrown out there onto Mokran, and here comes the cheap shot onto Vile. Sheep over onto Fuin. It was a blind overlapped as well, though. He's going to be MCS on his Trinket. It may not matter. He's going to go down as the smoke bomb comes in, and Fuin unable to pick Vile back up. He had no Disperse. No more options left, and that is going to be that. Melk, Trupp are going to take the series. It's going to be a 3-1 score, and they are moving one step closer to getting that BlizzCon invite.
So incredible. Wow. They